Shall we do this thing? Yes, we shall. All right. Hello. I think the music's still going. I turned it down fairly abruptly, but that's how it goes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. And I, obviously late as usual on Mondays, but that's got to end next week because I have to go back to work. Like I can't afford to stay off work any more time. My doctor said, stay out to this date, and I'm going to stay out to this date. It's because the wifey says so. What happened to music? Did it cut off completely? No, it's still going. Okay, hey, maybe I'll get this stuff down one of these days. It's only been 4 years I've been doing this. But I try doing technologies and it messes me up. Anyway, happy Monday. There's a lot of weekend news, but really, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I got a couple things that are key today that we're going to talk about, and then it'll just be random hodgepodge stuff. Maybe I'll put another Q&A in the chat. That was kind of fun. I like how that worked because I can find the questions easier. I just click a little button and poof, all the questions are right there. What am I boomering for? What do you mean? I'm done boomering, right? Anyway, shall we do this thing? Johnny, please turn that shit off and play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Can I get a hell to the yeah? Let's go. Johnny, stop the music. Oh, that was quite abrupt. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we sometimes just have to figure out what happened over the weekend, because I had to figure it out because I was doing other things. I thought I was doing important things. You know, I was hanging out with my family and hanging out with my son who's in town for a little bit, and just doing the things that you like to do when you're not doing, you know, when you're not working and you're not doing, well, this is work to me, but it's also a joy to me. But, you know, my son's in town, okay, because he had to go to a wedding and his wife's in town. But she had to go to a different wedding in another town north of us. And now they're going to stay in town all week because they got a wedding this next weekend too. You know, and you're in your 20s, you go to a lot of your friends' weddings. And they've been the whole summer, every weekend they're going somewhere. So anyway, fortunately for us, they're here this weekend. So me and my son and my wife and the grandmas, we all drove up to my daughter's new house and hung out yesterday afternoon. Had a lovely time. Had some barbecue chicken that I made, and we had some salad that my daughter made, and we had some soup that my wife made, and we had some fruit and stuff that my wonderful son-in-law's mother made, I think. I can't remember who brought the fruit. But anyway, we had a lovely time, and it was nice just to chill and not think about all the craziness going on in the world. But my job during the week is to talk about all the craziest going on in the world, and particularly in our country. But, you know, every once in a while, it's out there in the ether too. So that's what I'm here to do. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to do that right after I say good morning to the people in the chat, like I do every day, as you know. Share the stream if you haven't done it already, because I think a couple people have. Let me look here. Did anyone share the stream? Somnambul Nation is like always like right on it. And I'm going to retweet you right here, or repost you, whatever they call it now. And there's a couple other people's that, you know, done some other stuff that, oh my goodness. Someone replied to one of my tweets here. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, let's get it started. Let's get it started here. So good morning over on Rumble first. Avocados Diablo got to the bell first. Got the bell for being first, I should say. Also, good morning to Mike Savage Blarg. Also, good morning, Phantom Dog Fart and Road Dog. It's a dog eat dog world over Rumble. Dog. Avocados, at least, you know, he's kind of a dog, you know what I mean? Like, not in a good way. Yo, dog, he's my dog. And then, and of course, Mike Savage, a dog, and also Sully209, dog. Everyone's a dog. That's a dog pound over in Rumble today. Good to have you all over there. On YouTube, scrolling up, looks like Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell over there too, because because he's just Johnny on the spot. Not my Johnny, not you, Johnny. That Johnny. Also, good morning to Caro Soldier, who's always this close. I don't know how AD does it. AD must just be waiting, looking for that notification. But Caro Soldier, I guarantee, as fast as you are, you've always been in the top 2 or 3. One of these days, you will get the bell. But thank you for joining us and remaining with us on these wonderful days. Good morning also over there to Somnambul Nation, Maddie House Geek. Good morning also to, oh my goodness, Nomad's in the house.
Stop. Hammer time.
And, y'all got here so fast that no one else got to catch up. Also, Rabbit. Oh, oh no, it's a second. It's a second a month. See, now normally Rabbit only shows up on the first of the month, but the first of the month was yesterday. So you got Rabbit's here. Very good. First business day after my day, so obligatory me. Welcome, Rabbit. Not rabbit, like you would say the first thing out of your mouth. You know, if you the first day of every month, the first thing out of your mouth is rabbit. You're supposed to have good luck for the rest of the month. I have no idea if it works. I've only been, I learned this in high school, which of course many of you know is in another millennia. Our drama teacher used to say that, and she said, "Did you say rabbit this morning?" I'm like, shit, I forgot again. And I think I've only done it 3 times in my life. I can't remember if the months were lucky. I don't remember. I didn't buy any lottery tickets, and I don't know how lucky that makes your month. But you know what? It is one of those things that is old wives' tale across the world. All right. Also, good morning, Dom O'Leary, Lord Stanhope, Unacceptable Views. It's in the house. Kesler, hello. Good morning. Rick Ashbringer, what's up? Good morning. And scrolling, it just takes me a while because it doesn't give you a list. Robert Gruber's in the house. What's up, sir? Welcome back. Aaron Meredith. Did I just say Aaron Meredith? No, I didn't. No, that's the first time I said Aaron Meredith. So there you go. And Selected Boys in the house.
Yeah, boy.
And okay, that's everybody. So do me a favor. The biggest thing I need you to do, share the stream. Got 22 people here already. That's quick. JMK's in the house. How you doing? The like button, that's great. I love it. That helps because it gets people, the algorithm says, oh, somebody liked it. Let's send it to a couple more people and see if they like it. So do that. That's great. And, obviously sponsoring the show, Streamlabs is the best way to do it. PDognight.live/tips, or the link comes up in the chat every once in a while. And the other thing, though, that's the most important right now for me is send out those sharing of the stream. The sharing of the stream is very important. It helps me connect the people that may not have connected, and the people you like that would probably like the show. If you tell them, they might show up too. And that would be great because then we'd have, it'd just be a big old party in here. You all up in here with your friends and shit, and we'd be good. So let's do that. Hit share the button. And if you share the button after the show, you can do it before the show, like when you're waiting, or you could do it during the show, like right now, or you can do it after the show at the end. And if you have a favorite part, you can click that little checkbox to start wherever the favorite part is. And maybe your friend there will go like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Let's watch the rest of this shit. So anyway, it'll help. Good morning, Chicago Mike. I see you there, brother. Welcome. All right. So shall we talk about what's happening in the world? Now I found something, and the interesting place is where I found this meme. There's a meme on on Tulsi Gabbard's locals page, and I found it fascinating because Tulsi Gabbard, kind of for a while there was I always thought she was kind of the Bernie Sanders. In fact, she was stumping for Bernie Sanders back in the day, and so I always thought, well, maybe she's kind of a Bernie Sanders kind of gal. But this little meme here kind of threw me a bit because it's on her locals page, because she's becoming more and more skeptical of government and skeptical of the deep state and skeptical of, she's kind of throwing off some dare I say it, almost right-wing vibes. And I don't know if she's a Trojan horse kind of thing where she's, saying one thing and then coming up with something else. Or I don't know, but it's very interesting seeing the evolution of Tulsi Gabbard. Yes, hello, cannibalistic wizard. Got to Hong Kong going. Yeah, good morning, by the way. But it's fascinating that on her page, and this isn't even trending news. This is just something I caught this morning as I was prepping for the show. She put this on her page. Now you've seen the meme before with the top part, right? Equality and equity in theory, right? Equity in theory, that's supposed to help everybody see over the fence, see the game. But equity in reality, where they cut off the little legs and wasted people, right? But then there's a new part of the meme right here, down here. The capitalism, right? Where everyone gets built up above to see the game. And there's some people way up here, but everyone's up here. Marxism, which, oh my God, cuts everyone down and has just that one person. And then socialism, which is pretty much like equity, right? Kind of similar to equity, where no one goes anywhere, but the one guy gets his legs cut off and nobody can see. I was pretty surprised to see this. We're just waiting to Tulsi catch up with those fat cankles. What are you talking about? What cankles does Tulsi Gabbard have? Hold up. What are you talking about? Okay, now you got me confused. You got me confused because Tulsi Gabbard is not, okay, Tulsi Gabbard. I want to see if I would see a picture of where you see her ankles, because I don't know if she got some cankles. I doubt it. She's in very good shape. She's an officer in the National Guard or some shit. Oh, she's a fat woman waiting to happen. No, man. Well, she's has some Polynesian, thing going on, but I don't think she's a fat woman waiting to happen. She's always working out and stuff. I mean, look, this is here. Look here. Let's examine this picture of Tulsi Gabbard just a second. Now, does this look like someone who would have cankles? Does that look like someone who would have cankles? I don't think so. She's a fine individual, and I am certainly concerned about what you're thinking about this woman have cankles. Now let me see. Now that might be an old picture. Not that old. She kind of still looks like that. If you see her workout videos, she has workout videos sometimes. Now let's see. Let's try this one. Is this? Now, unfortunately, you can't see your ankles here, but I don't know. I'm not really convinced. I'm not really convinced that this woman has cankles. She just has some thick legs because she works out all the time. And she's still an officer in the military. That don't look like a real photo. It's real. This one's real. No, her ankle is thick as around her thighs. No, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, I just found it fascinating that Tulsi Gabbard posted that. 'Cause I always thought of her as kind of a, out there lefty socialist, equity person. When you hear the word equity, you know what to do. You run. Thank you, Tyler F. Thank you, Trippy Liberty. Thank you, Swamp Fox Ghost. And thank you, Anna Marie Cornell. And I don't even know who that is. Anna Marie Cornell, are you in the chat? But thank you for retweeting the show. I appreciate it. Did Trippy show up? I know Trippy will be here shortly. Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. What's up? Good morning. So anyway, yeah, that was interesting. Now, let's talk about things that are happening in the world, though. Let's talk about what's happening in the world. Apparently, this morning, Donald Trump has shown up for his trial in New York City. Now, this is, I'm going to give you the Krasenstein minute early today. All right, Donald Trump. Here's how he writes it. Okay, because this is funny. Breaking: Trump just walked into the New York State Court in Manhattan where he faces a civil trial brought by Attorney General Letitia James. Will Trump be held liable? Liable for what? That's just it. Today's the first day of the trial where Trump will face the possibility of a hefty fine and the potential of having his businesses banned for operating in the state. Several witnesses are expected to testify throughout the trial, including longtime Trump Organization tax consultant Donald Bender. What do you think the outcome of this trial will be? Well, it's New York. The judge, it's the same judge that decided he knows what the real estate values in Florida are more than, people who do real estate in Florida. Okay, he just saw one little tax assessment that doesn't really talk about the market value of the real estate. And so he basically said, you're guilty of whatever the attorney general says. So what's the trial going to be? Well, it's not going to be a jury trial. The Trump team asked for a jury trial. And the judge said, no, I'm going to judge this by myself. So there's a problem here. There's some constitutional issues. This is whatever. So anyway, Trump is there. What do you think the outcome of the trial will be? What's going to be exactly what Letitia James and the judge want is to destroy Trump. That's going to be their attempt, and there's going to be appeals. Probably, I'm curious if the appeals will even go past the superior courts. They don't have in New York they call the main court the Supreme Court, right? But that's not the Supreme Court. It's not the appeals court. It'll go up through the appeals court system. I'm wondering if it'll even make it through the New York appeals court system, because just the idea that the judge knows better real estate market value than real estate experts. I mean, look, he said between 18 and 27 million for Mar-a-Lago, which is not even in New York. Okay, that's a business. And Ed Krastein's question is a little silly here too. Will this put Trump out of business completely? Well, I don't know. Maybe in New York, but he has businesses in other parts of the world that will not be affected by this trial. They have nothing to do with this trial, and the judge can't revoke his business license in other parts of the world, even if he does in New York. Now, again, probably a majority of the Trump organization businesses are in New York, but that being that may, this is silly. The appellate court, yes, thank you. Special Cat Acid, good morning, sir. So that's an interesting question, but that's Letitia James is trending quite a bit because of this particular event happening right now. So, and if you scroll through, I'm not going to scroll too fast. I got to be careful of the B&B factor on Twitter. That means boobs and butts. So anyway, New York Attorney General Letitia James makes a statement as former President Trump's. Hang on. This is the woman who campaigned to get Donald Trump. That's how she got elected. She campaigned to destroy Donald Trump. Was her goal. New York Attorney General Letitia James makes a statement as former President Trump's civil fraud trial is set to begin. My message is simple. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you have, no one is above the law. Well, you got to make it up the laws as they go, the way I'm seeing it. But let's see what she said here.
Donald Trump and the other defendants have committed persistent and repeated fraud. Last week, we proved that in our
You didn't prove shit. Yeah. Today, so the judge gave a summary judgment, didn't allow a trial. And so they're basing this on a summary judgment. Hello, Jethro Hedo. Yes, Letitia. Yes, Letitia James. Okay, anyway.
We'll prove our other claims.
You ain't proving shit.
It's simple. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you may have,
we can take you down because we're Democrats. That's her message. That's exactly what it was. Oh wait, she said something else.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law except Hunter Biden, Hillary Clinton, and a whole bunch of people that we could name in succession for about 3 hours. Anyway.
And it is my responsibility and my
jury's responsibility to shut the fuck up. No. I shouldn't say that anyway.
Job to enforce it. The law is both powerful and fragile.
Yeah, you're making up laws as you go.
Today in court, we will prove our case.
What up, Kessler? How you doing?
Thank you all for being here. And again, justice will prevail. Thank you.
Yeah, KMA, kiss my ass, something like that. Anyway, so that's big news, and it's trending all over Twitter. A.G. James is trending. And she put the New York Attorney General made this little flow chart of what's happening right now. They're going to try to take Donald Trump down. It's it is the great quest to destroy Donald Trump because he made the mistake of running for president in 2016. He had made the mistake of beating the one and the only Hillary Clinton. What the fuck was that? Anyway, wait, Hillary Clinton gets that? Whoa, what? Why are we giving, Johnny, why are we giving Hillary Clinton that shit? What? Wait. We should be making throw-up sounds, not angelic choir. Come on, stop it. Stop that shit. Anyway, so that's why Letitia is trending. Also trending today, and talked about this the other day. This woman trends all the time, but especially because her concert. Beyonce is trending. Everyone's favorite entertainer, the greatest singer in the world, and maybe of all times ever, is trending because she finished up her Kansas City, her tour, Kansas City show, Renaissance tour, finished up in Kansas City. It's very timely because I did make a joke about Beyonce on my other channel because here's the thing. I told my wife, I don't know, we were talking to her. I was like, I've always had kind of a crush on Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? She's a little fine individual. My wife's like, whatever floats your boat. And I'm like, excuse me, honey. No, that's buoyancy. Okay, let's get it right. Anyway, it's a bad joke, and So anyway, that's why Beyonce's trending, and that's really all I have to say about that. It was just an excuse to break out the joke again. Now, another thing that's trending, I think they got the wrong month because apparently White History Month is trending. And I'm like, well, why is White History Month trending in October when White History Month is clearly in July? But maybe this is Great Britain's White History Month? I don't know. And it was just weird. And I was looking at here going, well, what's going to be happening on Twitter on White History Month? And this one's like, it's about time white people had their own space. Can we have a White History Month too? This says, join us for whites only moms and tots. Are you looking for someone for children can play with others that look like them? Are they tired of being a minority in their schools or daycares? Escape forced diversity and join other proud parents of European children as we create an atmosphere in which our kids can feel like they belong. Invest in your child's sense of well-being and racial identity, giving them the gift of time spent amongst their own people because they deserve it. Man, that just sounds like something. Have you ever heard of anything like that? Is this happening in Great Britain? Where is this happening? I don't know. That's weird. Don't forget a lot of people are. Oh wait, here's the this should be remembered. This should be remembered too. When blacks suppressed whites and made us slaves, let's have a White History Month. I'm skeptical because of course you're going to hear the people go, oh, every day is White History Month. This must be Great Britain's White History Month. White History Month is trending. Standing up for whites have rights too. Well, I guess. And this is about White History Month, totally ignored by the left. Children in the factories, yes. But we know who built this country. Anyway, good God. So anyway, it's trending. I know it's a tongue-in-cheek thing in some ways, but maybe in London. They might have a case for that because wasn't the mayor of London who said something like, where is it? I bet I can find it. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, right here. Here's one. Now this is something that Mayor Khan, not spelled C-O-N, said recently, and it's in the paper here. It said, he said, white families just don't represent real Londoners, says Khan's staff guidelines. So he's mayor forced to withdraw advice on which photos will best promote his brand after critics label it racist and divisive. That's amazing because I always thought London, maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. There's a lot of white people in London, but I don't know, man. This is all getting nutty. I think people need to chill, if you ask me. People needs to chill. But I am a strong advocate for all of my white brothers and sisters. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat, the most original viewer of the Morning Night Lives in the house. And hello, those ain't real do. Yes, Khan. Well, not that Khan. That's a different Khan. Was it racist to make Khan the villain in Star Trek? Here. I don't know. Good morning, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island of tropical breezes. All right. And Shady Grins in the house. What up? Yellow? No, we're talking about white people right now. Okay, I got you. All right. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, Now I'm going to get into the main topic early today because I don't have a lot of time today. So we're going to get into the main topic early. Good morning, Oren Doomhammer, OFC. What up? Yes. Hey, what's up, good P-Dog? Well, what's good? Everything's good. You know what I mean? I had a wonderful weekend, by the way. What did we do Saturday? I know we did Sunday. Saturday we just hung out with our son all day. We haven't seen him for a while, and so it was nice to have him around and just hung out with him. Anyway, all right. Just a reminder, I will be on the AAA meeting tonight. I might have a problem with Wednesday. My son's birthday is Wednesday, and we're going out for dinner for his birthday, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the AAA meeting. I better figure that out before the guys, but I'll talk with them tonight as soon as I figure out what time we're eating. Anyway, you went axe throwing on the weekend? Isn't that fun? I have done that. There's a place right down about 3 miles from where I live at one of the movie theaters. They have an axe throwing, what do you call it? An axe? I'll just call it an axe throwing venue. It's kind of fun. I mean, it's basically you're playing darts with axes, like little hatchets, right? You throw a hatchet. And then if you have a tie in one of the games, instead of throwing a hatchet, you throw a full-handled axe. And that's kind of a trip. An axe throwing range. Okay, that sounds about right. An axe throwing range. P-Dog doesn't have a lot of time to spare. Does a 3-hour stream anyway. Yeah, you know how that happens. I just got stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff to do that's kind of busy work that's going to take me a while. Also, there's a furniture store up near my daughter's house where they're clearing it out at everything 90% off, and I'm thinking of going up there, but I don't have time. That's like 50 minutes away from my house, 50 minutes away from my house. But I should just go buy a bunch of furniture and then put it on Craigslist if they're selling it for 90% off, I'll get it for 90% off and sell it for 70% off. I don't know. I wish my trailer was empty. My trailer's already full of crap. Anyway, all right, let's talk about one of the main topics today, because I want to get to this one right now. This is amazing. I believe this morning, the breaking news this morning, and a Nobel Prize was awarded. And holy shit. Nobel Prize was awarded to Katalin Kariko and Drew Weissman. Now, if you're not familiar with Katalin Kariko and Drew Weissman, the Nobel Committee announced that the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine has been awarded to Katalin Kariko and Drew Weissman for the discoveries concerning nucleoside-based modifications that enabled the development of effective mRNA vaccines against stupid 19. Oh, yes! Congratulations to Katalin and Drew Weissman for the discovery that led to the mRNA vaccines. Now, for those of you scratching your head, let's get into a little more detail here from the Washington Post. Nobel Prize in Medicine awarded to scientists who laid the foundation for messenger mRNA vaccines. That the M stands for. The Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded Monday to two scientists whose research laid the groundwork for the messenger RNA vaccines that transformed the threat of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, did they though? Because because the death rate they said was 3.4% was actually under 1%. But anyway, so you don't really know if these vaccines work. They say they work. They said they help, but so did a lot of other therapeutic things that they didn't admit at first because they couldn't get the emergency authorization and send these around the world. But anyway, for years, Katalin Kariko, a Hungarian-born scientist whose ferocious and single-minded pursuit of a messenger RNA exiled her to the outskirts of science, worked closely with Drew Weissman, an immunologist at the University of Pennsylvania, who saw the potential for the technology to create a new kind of vaccine. Together, they discovered how to chemically tweak messenger RNA, turning basic biology into a technology ready to change the world. It's changing the world. We'll find out in about 10 years how it has changed the world. We'll figure it out. because, no long-term testing has been done. Anyway, the turning basic biology technology ready to change the world. When the pandemic struck, the Nobel Assembly cited the importance of the work for contributing to the unprecedented rate of vaccine development during one of the greatest threats to human health in modern times. Yeah. Now that we know a lot more, maybe I guess they're going to have to use the modern times as their qualifier there. So anyway, so this is a picture that's worth 1,000 words, though, according to Dr. Simon Goddick. This picture is worth 1,000 words. The Nobel laureates do not trust their own innovation and instead rely on pseudoscience, aka face diapers. So they're accepting their awards wearing masks that, you'd think they're science. The science, blinding me with science, would have protected them from each other because they're kind of there by themselves, but they're wearing masks instead because the pseudoscience of masks, not the pseudoscience, the concern of the efficacy of masks, which there's a lot of science around that, but nobody seems to like to bring that up. Anyway, they're wearing masks. That's a picture with 1,000 words. And then also, here's another one. In 2009, because we're going to talk about some dubious Nobel Prizes in a minute here. In 2009, Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize for eventually killing thousands of people with drones. Because remember, he got the Nobel Peace Prize, a month or so into his presidency? Basically, he got a Nobel Peace Prize for not being George W. Bush. That's the only reason he got it. And then he started droning people and killing them and whatnot. And boy, oh boy, everyone's excited to the fact that he got a Nobel Prize, but nobody knows why. Nobody. Wait, okay, here's a contest for you. And maybe I'll just do it. I'll make a Q&A shortly. I want the wrong answers only. The wrong answers only. Why did Barack, or for what? I'll say for what. For what did, God damn it, learn how to type. Barack Obama receive the Nobel Prize? And I want you to put the answers in the on if you do it on Rumble, put 3 asterisks in front of it, so I know that's an answer. On YouTube, you can just put the answers in the Q&A. So there you go. In the Q&A, you just click that Q&A tab, and you can put in the wrong answers for this question. All right, and we'll read those in a minute. All right, so put them over there. All right, wait a minute, where's my live chat? There it is. Okay, so now, in 2009, Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize for eventually killing thousands of people with drones. In 2023, 2 scientists were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, again for harming even more individuals. Do you agree with these politically motivated awards? These politically motivated awards should be abolished. Well, I suppose here's the Peace Prize for Obama. Wins the Nobel Peace Prize, then he proceeds to bomb Libya, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Somalia, and Yemen. In fact, he turned Libya into a slave trading country. They brought back slavery in Libya, and they're trading slaves to this day in Libya, thanks to Barack Obama. And again, I have to give some credit to Hillary Clinton. Okay, she did her job on that. So and look, speaking of dubious prize, let's talk about some dubious Nobel Peace Prize. Now, one of them, especially, this is in medicine, right? This is in physiology and medicine. It's not a peace prize. Did I say peace prize? This is the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine in 2023. Well, let's talk about a piece. Someone got a Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine. Oh, hello, Sarah. What's up? Somebody got a Nobel Prize for medicine back in the late 40s, right? And by the way, you realize the Nobel Prize, that's the guy who invented did he invent some kind of dynamite or something like that? A new type of dynamite that he basically put together from the rockets and stuff that the Chinese and whatever were doing. He killed, his inventions killed a whole bunch of people, so he felt bad and then decided to come up with this Nobel Prize thing to bolster his image for forever, to come. If you do something really shitty in life, then you do something that's supposed to be good, and then everyone will think you were a good guy, even though everyone thought this guy was a shitbag. He invented TNT. There you go. That's exactly it. So anyway, let's talk about one of the most famous and notorious Nobel Prizes ever awarded in physiology and medicine, and that would be Nobel panel in 2005 was urged to rescind the prize for lobotomies. Yes, the 2049 Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine went to the man who came up with the idea of lobotomies. So the now discredited procedure of the lobotomy, which involves severing nerve connections within the brain of a mentally ill person, won a Nobel Peace Prize for Portuguese neurologist Egas Moniz in 1949. Now there's an effort. This is 2005 by this article. There's now an effort in 2005 by families of lobotomy patients to persuade the Nobel Prize Committee to rescind the award given to him. And this is a interview on NPR, which we're not going to go through. But yes, the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine once went to the inventor of the lobotomy. So this is from 2021. This week, a small selection of scientists have been on tenterhooks, wondering if they'll get a call from Sweden that'll instantly change their lives. The most exciting time of the year in the scientific community is upon us. It's Nobel Prize season. But this year's winners would do well to consider what happened to many Nobelists after they accepted their prize. Take Kary Mullis, who won his Nobel Prize as inventor of the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, a fundamental technique that's now used not just in COVID tests, but essentially all laboratory genetics research. He spent the last part of his life strenuously denying that HIV viruses cause AIDS. So this guy, and people took him seriously. That's the problem, because he's a Nobel Prize winner. See, the problem is you win a Nobel Prize and people try to take you seriously, but how many of you in this audience take Yasser Arafat seriously? Or is he dead yet? I think he's dead. And how many take Yasser Arafat seriously? Come on. And so anyway, so this doctor, he spent the last part of his life strenuously denying that HIV virus causes AIDS. Or Luc Montagnier, who won his Nobel Prize for discovering that very HIV virus and went on to publish research on what amounts to homeopathy. I said the wrong one. More recently, Michael Levitt won the Nobel Prize in 2013 for important computer modeling work related to the protein structure. His Twitter name, MLLevittMP 2013, MB for Nobel Prize, helps you just see what big part of his identity the award is. It makes them almost bulletproof when you try to dispute these people because they won a Nobel Prize. And sometimes called conspiratorial sounding theories about the spread of the disease, HIV. In July 2020, for instance, he stated that COVID in the U.S. will be done in 4 weeks. Okay, now this is, I don't know if this is a place that likes that idea or not. Anyway, now here's the rub. In 1949, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to the inventor of a disturbing procedure, an attempt to treat mental illness, where a surgeon either injected pure ethanol directly into the brain to kill a clump of neurons, or used a special instrument with a sharp wire to slice away the connections between the parts of the brain's frontal lobe. Oh, and before they did so, they had to first punch or drill a hole through the skull, usually somewhere near the eye. The frontal lobotomy, sometimes known as leucotomy, wasn't the first ever attempt at psychosurgery, the treatment of mental illness by operating on the brain, but its invention is most strongly associated with the Portuguese doctor, politician, and general polymath Egas Moniz. Inspired at least in part by previous research on chimpanzees who became notably less aggressive and more docile after their frontal lobes were chopped out. In 1937, Moniz reported a case series of 20 patients suffering from conditions like anxiety, depression, and schizophrenia whom he had lobotomized. Wow. So obviously he did his experiments on humans. According to Moniz, the very audacious and, this is going to sound familiar. The very audacious, and, quote, always safe, end quote, procedure, which he couldn't perform personally due to crippling gout in his hands, worked wonders. Wonders. It was wonders. The patients were more placid, more rational, and easier to control. Oh, isn't that special? And he declared some of them cured. But was there any evidence of any good? As the psychologist Anne Jane Tierney put in the 50th anniversary of Moniz's Nobel Prize, quote, a contemporary scientist can find considerable fault in Moniz's work, including the inadequate follow-up times, absence of control groups, and the superficial and subjective evaluations of patients performed by individuals least likely to be objective. If you, let's say you're doing this procedure, right? And you do a bunch of them and people are drooling and not very docile because they can't really put two thoughts together. Kind of like John Fetterman. The result, when you're the doctor who does this, you're like, oh yes, these results were perfect. It was awesome. These people are all cured. That room of drooling people over there. Anyway, you get the point. The Nobel Prize, just because someone gets a Nobel Prize, is there any patient testimonies? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't think so. So, let's see. I had another one on here. Here's a list. In fact, and look, the Nobel Committee, they've had their share of mistakes. Now, this is an interesting article that I'll just put up and we'll just go through very quickly. Some of the top Nobel Prize goof-ups. Now, this one includes things that maybe you go, if you really think deep. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just see what I saw? Yes, I did. Excuse me. Good morning to the Grand Inquisitor, Mr. Tyre Alexander! What up, Tyre? Good morning. Okay. Here's an article on top Nobel Prize goof-ups. Okay, this is great. Here's one. So here's the top. Now, this is an interesting article. Now, in some cases, because people who didn't receive the Nobel Prize, but the one most glaring one, which I think should have been, I think Barack Obama's pretty glaring. I think Yasser Arafat's pretty glaring, but, and then the lobotomy guy. So here's the top 5 Nobel Prize goof-ups, okay? Mahatma Gandhi, Mohandas, not Mahatma. Mohandas K. Gandhi. Gandhi. That's when you say Gandhi, you think of this guy, right? You think of this Gandhi. This guy did not win a Nobel Peace Prize, though he was nominated 5 times, including in 1948, just days before his assassination. The Indian spiritual leader Mahatma Gandhi, never received the Nobel Peace Prize. In 2006, Gerhard Lundestad, secretary of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, said, "The greatest omission in our 106-year history is undoubtedly that Mahatma Gandhi never received a Nobel Peace Prize. Gandhi could do without the Nobel Prize. Whether the Nobel Prize Committee can do without Gandhi is the question." So that's interesting. Because they gave one to Martin Luther King, who based everything he did on Mahatma Gandhi. But, his origins, he wasn't always peaceful, was he? I don't know a whole lot about Gandhi, but he never received a Peace Prize. And you'd think that would be kind of, that would be kind of the model for the Peace Prize. Mahatma is his title. Mohandas was his name. Oh, thank you. I did not know that. Thank you. Now, the second one here, though, is lobotomies for the win. So we just talked about this in 1949. The Portuguese neurologist Antonio Egas Moniz received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his development of the prefrontal lobotomy. We already talked about that. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but that seems like it'd be. Look, I'm surprised they didn't give a Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine for all these people doing trans surgeries, because that's kind of reminds me of the lobotomy. That's the new lobotomy, and they're doing them, and they're going to find out in a few years, maybe not even a few years, they're already finding out that, hey, stop that shit when you do it on kids. No more of that, because, stop. But you would think they've somebody, the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, you would think that they would get a Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine for this miracle work they're doing that's, stopping kids from self-ending and things like that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it doesn't stop them from self-ending? Oh, it causes more problems than it helps? Oh, geez, there's there's research on that too? Okay, never mind. Let's just move on. Also, in 1994, they honored Yasser Arafat. The Nobel Peace Committee honored Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, Israeli Foreign Minister Shimon Peres, and the leader of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, who for many years basically decided that terrorism was their mode of getting what they wanted. And the leader of that organization was, of course, Yasser Arafat. But in 94, they gave him the prize for their efforts towards negotiating peace between Israel and Palestine in a series of meetings that took place in Oslo in the year before. And I'm sure it's just because I'm surprised President Clinton didn't get one for that too, because he was kind of the one, pushing that shit and whatever. They were given the Nobel Peace Prize despite the fact that they had not managed to come to any workable agreement in those meetings. So they got a Nobel Peace Prize for just talking about it. We're going to try. We're going to have a little conference over here and try. Holy shit. Also, some people in literature, the Nobel Prize for Literature. Here's a list of literature losers. Nobel Prize founder Alfred Nobel stated in his will that the literature prize ought to be awarded to an author who has produced in the field of literature the most outstanding work in an ideal direction. Now, in the early years of the award, oh, I have that muted, don't I? Sorry, here, Black Hebrews Light. There we go. Let me do this. By the way, Black Hebrews Light, thank you for dropping a deuce in the tip jar, and that makes you the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Because you're the first person to donate to the show this morning on Streamlabs. Thank you for dropping a deuce in the tip jar. Black Hebrew Israelite said, oh, by the way, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, let's do music for the whatchamacallits, the things. Okay, so Black Hebrew Israelite says, I'll give you 3 reasons why Obama won the Nobel Prize. First, he convinced Americans Michael Obama was a woman. Okay, I didn't necessarily want to go here. Second, he spoke so well for a black man. Yes, that's what Joe Biden said. He was clean and all that shit. And last but not least, he added a white liberal Karen. What? A white liberal Karen bring back slavery to... Oh, he helped a white liberal Karen, a.k.a. Hillary Clinton, bring back slavery to Africa. That's right.
That's right.
Okay, thank you very much. Black Hebrew Israelite, let's stop the music. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a deuce in the zip jar. All you got to do is beat a deuce, people. To be the superstar sponsor, you got to beat a deuce. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. And don't donate if it's not within your means or whatever. But I appreciate people because that's how I keep going. Anyway, literary losers. So the founder said that in the field of literature, the most outstanding work in an ideal direction. In the early years of the award in 1901 and 1912, the Nobel Selection Committee interpreted this phrasing to mean writers who are advocating for lofty idealism. So, for this reason, the committee did not recognize some of the most renowned authors of the time, indeed all time, such as James Joyce, Leo Tolstoy, Anton Chekhov, Marcel Proust, Henry Ibsen, and Mark Twain, whose works were deemed pessimistic and dystopic. These literary legends died before the committee loosened its interpretation of the Nobel's will, taking his words to mean works of lasting literary merit. So they kind of changed the criteria later on. So there you go. And then finally, they say, now this one is another one which is dubious. The periodic table of elements is one of the most useful and surely the most famous tools in all of chemistry. The great insight of the original table's creator, Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev, was in organizing the elements according to their atomic weights. Doing so revealed patterns in their properties. All chemical elements in the rightmost column, for example, are noble gases that don't easily conform to chemical bonds with anything else. Furthermore, the elements of the middle region of the table are all metals. Using his periodic table, Mendeleev made many useful deductions about the nature of matter and was even able to predict the properties of as yet undiscovered elements, which is pretty important, right? Which is why gold became the best element for money. However, despite the fact that Mendeleev lived until 1907, 6 years after the start of the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, he was not recognized. In The Road to Stockholm, Nobel Prizes Science and Scientist, Oxford 2002, Istvan Hargitayati claims this was because behind-the-scenes machinations by a member of the Nobel Select Committee who disagreed with Mendeleev's work. And now the periodic table clearly is still the kind of the standard chemistry, right? We still use the periodic table because it still makes sense today after 100 some years, 140 years, whatever, after he came up with that. We're still using it, right? So anyway, there you go. So that is some of the mistakes. The Nobel Prize really can be, well, let's just put it simple. It can be crap. It can be crap. The Nobel Prize can be crap, and I think they have managed to they've managed to reach that standard once again this year with the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. All right, really quick here. Let me see. I'm just checking. Oh my God, what's going on here? Oh, people are liking my funny. Someone's liking a whole bunch of my funny clips all of a sudden. Oh, these are all fake accounts. Why are all these fake accounts liking my stuff? So I spend about 10 minutes every Monday dumping fake accounts. And there's a bunch of fake accounts all of a sudden liking all of my little funny clips that I put on Twitter. Because I put my Marty's Big Journey little jokes, my dad jokes on Twitter too. And all of a sudden, there's like this barrage of fake accounts liking them. Maybe they're just hoping that I'll follow them. I remove every one of those followers. All right, real quick. Why is this still not making noise? Here, I'm going to replay something here. This is as, even though Black Hebrew Israelite did this a while ago, you did get to hear the music and see it. So we're going to listen to it. We're just going to stop here. I'm going to pause for a second just for this particular. Oh, well, there's that one. Is that right? Oh, wait, well, let's stop. Okay, hang on a second. Let me go back, because those are YouTube Super Chats. Those don't count in the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. But here's this one. Maybe. Oh, that was it. Okay, that's Black Hebrew Israelite. And then Renee Mayette dropping a 5 spot via YouTube, who says, don't threaten me with a good time. Well, I don't know what that meant, Renee. What did I say that I'm threatening you with a good time? And then thank you to wait, where'd it go? Oh, did I do that twice? There's another one in there, P-Dog something, and I don't see it. Oh, that was from 3 days ago. I played the wrong one. Okay, so we're good. Are we good? Okay. Thank you, Renee, man. I appreciate you. But I'm not sure which thing I said that you said, do not threaten me with a good time. Sex bots. My phone sucks whole ass. Oh, yeah. Did I say that? Oh, you're saying. I'm not sure. I'm confused. Okay. Hi. I'm back. So, where was I? Oh, next big story of the day. Now, if you looked at the thumbnail or you read the description today, we found out that today the state of Maryland got a 3rd senator. Now, that is unprecedented in the history of the United States, that a single state gets an extra senator. But today, the state of Maryland gets an extra senator. Now, if you're wondering how that could be, that is because the governor of the state of California, Mr. Gavin Newsom, has appointed a new senator to replace the late Dianne Feinstein. And that person, in fact, here's his tweet. And he promised that he would appoint a black woman, okay? And he has done that. Now, the problem is, well, I'll tell you the problem of it. Here's his announcement on the app formerly known as Twitter this morning. Was it this morning or was it last night? It was last night at 11:23 p.m. last night. So long before the cycle of news starts on Monday morning, He writes, I am proud to announce California's new United States Senator, LaFonza Butler. Apparently she's not running for this position, so he's a temporary replacement, and then there's a bunch of people running for it. And a lot of people wanted him to appoint California's Barbara Lee. But anyway, as we mourn the loss of Senator Feinstein, I don't believe you are, but some people are. Certainly her family and her loved ones and people who have any empathy for human life do, but I doubt if Gavin Newsom is. The very freedom she fought for, reproductive freedom, equal protection, and safety from gun violence have never been under greater assault. Yeah, wait a minute. What? That didn't even make any sense. LaFonza spent her entire career fighting for women and girls and has been a fierce advocate for working people. She will make history, becoming the first black lesbian to openly serve in the U.S. Senate. See, he couldn't appoint the first black woman senator because that's already, Carol Moseley Brown, right? But now he had to one up that, right? The first black lesbian to openly serve in the Senate. Well, I know, because it is really, to me, to openly serve in the Senate is really problematic. I don't care if she's a black lesbian, but that's what he said. To be the first, this is how he phrased it. This is hilarious. He phrased it this way. She becoming the first black lesbian to openly serve in the Senate. Which part openly what? To openly serve in the Senate. She didn't say the first openly black lesbian or the first black openly lesbian, whatever. But to openly serve in the Senate, that's funny to me. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, and then he says, for her time as president of Emily's List. Now, if you're not familiar with Emily's List, I'll give you a short primer on that. To lead the state's largest labor union. She has always stood up for what is right and has led her with her heart and values. I have no doubt she will carry the baton left by Senator Feinstein. Well, a lot of people didn't like Senator Feinstein. Good morning, Gen T over on Rumble. I have no doubt she will carry the baton left by Senator Feinstein, continuing to break glass ceilings and fight for all Californians in Washington. Now, there's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, how many senators serve closeted? Not a whole lot. Maybe there was a few you saw their name and you're like, senator from where? I don't know. So anyway, so she'll be the first black lesbian to openly serve in the Senate. Now, I'm not sure. Is that how you represent California? Is California is that important for all Californians that a black lesbian be representing them? Is that the benchmark that we're trying to set? So now there's a little problem though with this nomination, that not even a nomination. He's appointing her. He's like that. There's a little problem though. Apparently, Ms. Butler doesn't live in California. In her FEC, Federal Elections Commission's filing 31 days ago, she lists Maryland as her residence, and yet Gavin Newsom is naming LaFonza Butler to be a United States Senator representing the state she doesn't even live in. However corrupt you think politics is, multiply it by 1 million. 31 days ago, she lists her home in Maryland. Okay. Now, she is the first black lesbian to serve in the United States Senate. That's all the clapping seals in the Democratic Party care about. It's beyond a parody at this point. These people are more insane and corrupt than you can imagine. So in my mind, I would say that the state of Maryland has 3 United States senators. California will be without one until there's an election, thanks to Gavin Newsom. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard asks, so how black is she? Does she need to change her smoke detector battery? That's a good question. Does she have a little chirp going on in her apartment or home or whatever? So anyway, the AP is excited about this. California governor names LaFonza Butler former Kamala Harris advisor. Oh, great. To Feinstein's seat. Now this is a temporary appointment. Here she is when she was stumping for Charlie Crist. Oh my God, this is terrible. California government has elected LaFonza Butler, a Democratic strategist and advisor to Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign. Oh, so she's an absolute winner too. She raised Kamala Harris to new heights in her campaign for president of the United States. Oh my God, this just gets better and better. To fill the vacant seat by Dianne Feinstein, whatever. In choosing Butler Sunday, Newsom has fulfilled his pledge to appoint a black woman, because that's the most important thing to everyone in California, if Feinstein's seat became open. However, he had been facing pressure from some black politicians and advocacy groups to select Barbara Lee, a prominent black congresswoman who is already running for the seat. Well, Butler will be the only black woman serving in the U.S. Senate and the first openly LGBTQ plus person to represent California. See, because they can't even say that. The first openly LGBTQ, whatever, LMNOP, alphabet person in the Senate, because that is what, Kristen Cinema, right? Cinnamon something. She's, well, I don't know. What does she consider herself, queer or something? She's not necessarily consider herself a lesbian, but she's openly whatever that acronym stands for these days, because it changes constantly. So they had to. So she's representing California, but she's not representing California. She lives in Maryland. She doesn't live in California. So anyway, we saw the statement. I'm going to read it again. CNN, same thing. It was appointing LaFonza Butler. That was this morning. He already did. So, but here it is. Butler has been the president of Emily's List, which works to elect Democratic women to support abortion rights. That is the thing that's important to him. She's not a Californian, but she is part of Emily's who fights for abortion rights, whatever. So she became the first woman of color to lead the organization. Yay! She previously worked at Airbnb as director of public policies and campaigns and advised Vice President Kamala Harris's 2020. Look, stop talking about her being part of Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign. That was a freaking disaster. Does she really want that on her resume? I'm sorry. I don't care if she's vice president. That campaign was a disaster. So several high-profile Democrat candidates launched campaigns earlier this year to succeed Feinstein, who announced in February that she would not run for re-election. But she's still going to vote. I'm just saying. Anyway, they include a trio of House Democrats: Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi. What? Oh, who was backed by Nancy Pelosi, for a former deputy chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and Barbara Lee. So that wait a minute. Oh, that's Katie Porter. Look, I don't know if California politics are going to be as corrupt as, say, for example, Illinois. But Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and Barbara Lee are running for that office in California. I'm curious if California would dare to elect Adam Schiff.
You're fucking a white male!
Because...
You're fucking a white male!
Again, because...
You're fucking a white male!
But I think that would be golden if Adam Schiff beat out Katie Porter and Barbara Lee. I hate Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff's a shitbag. But the lulls for them not electing a black woman. Maybe there would probably be riots in California in certain areas if Adam Schiff wins, because Adam Schiff,
You're fucking a white male!
So anyway, let's see. I had a couple other things on this. So the Washington Examiner seemed to have figured this out at 7:30 a.m. this morning and already had an article written that, as we already said, incoming Senator LaFonza Butler's address shows her living in Maryland. Yes, the appointment of LaFonza Butler to become California's new senator is already raising some eyebrows, as she appears to be registered to vote in Maryland with an address in that state. Registration records indicate that Butler lives in Silver Spring, Maryland, and with her mailing address the same as a residential. She's registered as a Democrat as of September 12th, 2022. So that's, less than 30 days ago. She registered as a Democrat in the state of Maryland with her voter. with her address in Maryland. I gotta ask, I gotta wonder if Gavin Newsom had any idea that this was the case. Talk about a blunt. This guy's gonna be running for president. And then their FEC, again, our Federal Election Committee, if FEC filing 31 days ago lists Maryland as a resident. Gavin Newsom's naming her to be a United States Senator. Holy shit, this is a gaffe. This is a gaffe. Is she going to have to move back to California? I don't even know the rules. Is that okay? I mean, I'm sure he can appoint whoever he wants to, right? You got to think that those three people running for the Senate in California are being like, going to be like, wait a minute, that hoe don't live here. That hoe don't live here. So anyway, if you want to get an idea though about Emily's List, I said I'd bring you a little more knowledge about that. So this is from, what is this from? Discover that. I don't know what this means. Pro-abortion PAC to spend $10 million plus to boost Kamala's image in 2024. Good damn luck. One of the nation's largest pro-abortion PACs plans to spend more than $10 million to prop up worthless. Oh, now this is clearly a right-wing, this is a right-wing publication. Because they say worthless Vice President Kamala Harris. Now that's a little harsh. She's not worthless. Her husband loves her. Her family loves her. Parents love her. She's not worth less. Is she useless? Okay, useless, sure. But worthless? No, she has worth because she's a human being who deserves the distinction of being a human being. Okay, so she has some worth. Emily's List is an organization whose goal is to elect pro-abortion Democrat women to public office. They told Political over the weekend about its plan. This is back in June. Their plans to promote the epically incompetent, again, this is editorial by this publication, whose approval ratings have teetered around the low 40s to the mid 30s for much of Biden's first term. Such an investment in support for a sitting vice president is politically unprecedented, and it reflects the lack of broader efforts that have been made to date to help bolster the vice president amid persistently low approval ratings, the report states. Now, look, if they're going to bolster Kamala Harris's image, probably the best way to do that would be to hide Kamala Harris and not let her show up in public, because she makes an idiot of herself every time she shows up, especially when she laughs at random shit that isn't even funny. She just, all of a sudden, and I don't understand it. She just randomly laughs at shit. Anyway, I'll leave that article in there. That's funny. Emily's List is basically just they're a single issue organization. Why do I have this up here twice? Oh, because that was okay, I have the thread. There's a lot of people talking about it. I'm not going to get into it too much, but lots of people talking about LaFonza Butler. LaFonza Butler. Okay, that is some creative name making. But these people of color do that. We have some creative name making because that has there's no origin to that name. It's not African by any stretch of the imagination. I know sometimes we make up some African names, and sometimes we have African. I have I have an African name. My father gave me an Igbo name, Chinenye. Okay, Chinenye, and not to be confused with Chinenye. That's not Chinenye. It's Chinenye. It means in Igbo it means God gives, right? So that's one of my names. But LaFonza. That sounds like a cheap pizza joint in the south of Jersey. Let's go to LaFonza and get a pizza. I'm just saying. Sometimes the names don't make sense. All right, now I'm going to finish up with just a couple fascinating things. So apparently we got a budget deal, and McCarthy. You can phrase it a couple different ways. You can either phrase it that McCarthy caved. Wait, why do I have this 3 freaking times? Oh, did I not move it? Oh, I skipped Newt. That's why. Okay, Newt Gingrich is trending because I'll put this over here with the Gavin Newsom stuff. Not Gavin Newsom. I moved Gavin Newsom over there. I try to put these links at least. By the way, all these links and stuff, tweets and whatnot, if you're not familiar, I put them in the description of both Rumble and YouTube at the end of the show. And I also drop the links in the chat if anyone wants to go see them right away as soon as the outro goes out, I do that, right? Well, in the links today, these will all be in kind of grouped logically in some way, and I try to do that every time. So anyway, so we have this deal apparently to keep the government open, which I didn't care if we kept the government open. The more the government is closed, the more they're not funking with your money and funding the government with Chinese loans. So during this fight, though, apparently one of the Democratic congressmen during the shutdown talks decided to go and pull the fire alarm. Now, I always thought pulling a fire alarm might be a federal crime. Falsely pulling a fire alarm might be a federal crime. I'm not sure. I mean, that's a lot different than shouting fire in a crowded theater, right? That's actually you're taking action that makes people panic and leave. And so in the middle of this Capitol Hill fight, a Democrat pulls the Capitol Hill fire alarm. Representative Jamal Bowman from New York, he's one of the crackpot caucus. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say crackpot? I meant progressive caucus. More like progressive caucus. But anyway, pulled a fire alarm in the Cannon House office building amid efforts to avert a shutdown. Now, I don't know how you avert a shutdown by pulling the fire alarm, but in the lead up to a House vote on a measure to extend federal funding for 45 days, an audible alarm went off in the Cannon House office building that prompted the Capitol Police to evacuate staff, according to Axios. I'll put that Axios article up there too. Representative Jamal Bowman pulled a fire alarm in the Cannon building this morning, House Administrator and Committee Chair Brian Steele, Republican of Wisconsin, said in a statement. An investigation into why it was pulled is underway. I think he might be just a dumbass. That might be why. It does seem... Okay, a spokesman for Bowman told Axios that the congressman, quote, did not realize he would trigger a building alarm as he was rushing to make an urgent vote, end quote, and that he regrets any confusion. Really? It doesn't seem that Republicans are buying the story. Representative Harriet Hageman, Republican from Wyoming, and Lisa McClain, Republican from Michigan, are both drafting resolutions to censure Bowman, and Representative Nicole Miliakakis, who's a Republican from New York. And that representative has already drafted a resolution to expel Bowman from the House. I don't know if you expel him from that, but you could certainly bring him up on charges. He thought it was a crayon. Yeah, I don't know. Censure appears more likely as it only requires a simple majority, while expulsion requires a 2/3 vote, which ain't happening. Okay, it ain't happening. Democrats are going to kick out one of their own, meaning that a significant number of Democrats would have to join with Republicans to expel a member of their party, and that is not likely to happen. According to the report, there is footage of Bowman pulling the alarm, and at least one Democrat is all but denying that it is, in fact, Bowman. I wonder who that... Oh, that, of course, is another Democrat. It appears from the footage of the incident to be him, Representative Joe Morelli of New York said, but I haven't had a chance to talk to him. Well, if it's on video, all you got to do is look at the video, dumbass. Of course, Bowman office is already admitted he's responsible for pulling the fire alarm, so there isn't a question about the culprit's identity. If true, I'd like to understand, obviously, what his explanation is, Morelli said, and a member of Congress should never put people in jeopardy, and this puts people in the middle of a health and safety issue. Well, maybe not health, but certainly safety. According to sources who spoke with Fox News Digital, the alarm was pulled right shortly after the House Republicans made the announcement they'd be expediting a stopgap spending bill, commonly referred to as a continuation resolution, to extend the government funding for 45 days for consideration on the House floor on Saturday. According to the report, the announcement caught Democrats off guard, and they complained that they were not given enough time to read the bill. Oh, the irony! The irony! They were not given time to read the bill. Oh my gosh, the irony that they were not given time to read the bill. Jeez, I wonder if that's ever happened in the history of ever. It happens all the time when Democrats were leading the House. Oh, you have to you have to pass the bill to find out what's inside the bill. Who said that? That was famous. There's my trick question. By the way, I never did get to the Q&A here. Well, I'll do it right after this. So if you answered questions for the Q&A, several of you did. Well, we'll come back to that. Blackout 8879, welcome to the show, by the way. So anyway, here it is. There he is. He's pulling the firearm. It's like, it's not even a question if it was him. So let's see. There's more to this story. Here's the Axios article. That's Representative Bowman from New York. Let's see. Anyone out here? Yeah. Fuck. Well, we're not sure. We're not sure if it was him. Well, we know it was him because he's already admitted it. So, and then again, on this topic. Oh, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez defends Bowman for pulling the fire alarm. Let's hear what this dumbass says. I'm sorry, excuse me. This fine, young, gentle woman from Congress, what she says. Let's see here.
Progress on things like guaranteed health care in the United States of America.
There was an interesting moment over the weekend when your New York colleague,
wait a minute. Jake Tapper describes this as, well, there was an interesting moment. FTG Nancy Pelosi, of course so. There was an interesting moment. An interesting moment? Oh, pulling the fire alarms, an interesting moment? Yeah, maybe, like, because, kids would pull fire alarms when you were in elementary school, and you're like, what the fuck? Another fucking fire drill. But when they pull the alarm, here's the thing. The authorities cannot dismiss a false fire alarm being pulled. You evacuate the building, the fire and police respond. There's a lot that goes on when you do this. And so the Capitol Police had to evacuate the building. I'm sure there are fire trucks and shit coming around when this happens. This costs a lot of money. I think instead of not only censure Representative Bowman, but make him pay the cost of what it costs to respond to a fire alarm as such, especially in Congress. You think they didn't have fire trucks and people sweeping the building, make sure there's no fire? All these people, you got to make him pay for the man hours. Take it out of his Congress check. I bet it's about for a building in Washington, D.C. and the government, a false alarm, I bet it's about $100,000 for a false alarm. That'd be my guess. If you took all the hours that people that had to do work during that time, because certainly it was the Congress people. Anyway, let's watch AOC defend Representative Bowman at this interesting moment, as Jake Tapper describes.
Bowman, and he's under investigation for this now.
Under investigation, they know what happened.
Pulled a fire alarm in one of the House office buildings. Democrats were trying to delay a final vote on the bill. There he is, pulling the fire alarm. He says it was an accident. He thought pulling the alarm would open a door based on the fact that the doors to his right there were locked, and there was a sign that he said he was...
He's so full of shit. He thought that they would open a door that was locked. Really? Is it marked unlock that door right next to you alarm, or is it the fire alarm? I'm pretty sure it probably says on the little box that has the little handle, it says fire alarm. You lying piece of mother.
I think someone said it was confusing. I'll be honest. It doesn't really make sense to me, his explanation. Have you talked to him? What's going on?
I mean, listen, I think if you ask...
Now, let me just tell you something. They did a nice job with Sandy's makeup here. Sandy's looking pretty good, even though she has donkey teeth, if you really see when she actually opens her mouth. But still, she's looking kind of fine right here, isn't she? For, that's one of your better looking Congress peoples, right? She looks pretty good. Let's be honest. Don't just talk about donkey teeth and shit. She looks okay right there. But let's see her explanation. I'm going to back this up just a tiny bit so we get the full explanation. Wait, that pause game was not too bad there the first time. Anyway, okay, so let's go. Here we go. Here's her explanation
his explanation? Have you talked to him? What's going on?
I mean, listen, I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about
so
the government's
confusing.
about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's
my
going down.
gosh.
The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
So you pulled a fire alarm?
Okay, I know the little music over the top of that might have confused you, so let me take care of this. First of all, UAN, thank you for sponsoring the show, dropping a deuce plus 2, which makes you
the
new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Yay! Okay, UAN, I don't know who that stands for. But, unacceptable views. Is that right? Maybe? I don't know. Could be. Sitting on the pot, dropping it hot. Okay, this is, I don't know what this means. I would say it requires music, but I have the wrong music for this. But I'm sorry, it's Metal Monday, so here we go. Sitting on the pot, dropping it hot. Morning runs me hollering. Watch P-Dog Night take away the butthole, blasting pain, flying out of my rear lane. But I gotta give it my dollar and some change. Holy shit's flying at Mach speed. It's unwiped. That's right. Oh!
That's right.
That must be related to the one and only Mr. Black Gabriel Israelite or something. But that's some good poem writing there, right there. Didn't fit to the music. I should have had some, 8 R&B, beats or some shit. But thank you. But all of a sudden, when things begin, of course they must end. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, with a drop of a small bull in the tip jar. And Johnny Hellcat, now you
are the new Streamlabs
Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Dropping a 223 in the tip jar. This meeting sure is boring. What can I do to make this more interesting? Let's set off some fire alarms. That's in a door that's had ambiguous signage. So anyway, thank you, sponsors. The new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today is Johnny Hellcat. Yes. Thank you, sir. All right, let's finish. Oh, and Nelson, Horatio's in the house. Nelson's TAS and Game Archive. That would be Horatio. And also, Those Ain't Real Dude. Good morning. Did I skip you a while back? Because I know you were here earlier. I must have been slipping. I was slipping. All right, I'd be slipping. Oh, and I do have my Cup of Reparations caught in the U.S. Arizona Memorial Cup. All right, let's finish her stupid explanation here. Oh, yes, this signage can be confusing, and you would think you pull this handle that says fire alarm to open those doors.
Or there has even been conversations that are finished to even see if there was a misunderstanding here.
Oh,
but what
a misunderstanding.
while they did that, what they did not do was to commit to the same when George Santos was actually found guilty after a thorough investigation.
Oh, what about George Santos? See, the answer to everything is, what about him? But this is clearly full of fire alarms. That might even be a felony. I don't even know if it is or not. Anyone know in Washington, D.C. is falsely pulling a fire alarm a misdemeanor or a felony? It causes a lot of problems.
Federal charges. He's indicted on everything from wire fraud to actual lying of House investigators, and they have been buddying up and giggling with him on the House floor,
Santos.
and they are protecting someone who has lied to the American people, lied to the United States House of Representatives, lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule.
Wait a minute. In a moment of panic. Now I gotta wait to see the video. A moment of panic, Sandy says.
Give me a break.
Moment of panic.
That there is somehow any kind of equivalence to someone who is actively trying to clear up a situation that he himself admits he's embarrassed. He released a statement last night. He apologized. And they are protecting someone who has not only committed wire fraud, not only defrauded veterans, not only lied to congressional investigators. See what she did there? She has buzzwords that she planned out for this. And so she had to make sure she shoehorned the word veterans in there. Because,
She came in there hot. She was ready. She was ready for this shit. She wanted to talk about George Santos now. We're not talking about George Santos. Let's talk about George Santos later, because George Santos didn't pull the fire alarm right yesterday. This is new news of yesterday. It's amazing.
But is openly gloating about it is
openly
absolutely humiliating to the Republican caucus. And I think
about?
that they should really check their own values.
There's another Republican who's been indicted also that they've been defending. But
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're defending Menendez. Just shut the fuck up. Oh, there's another Republican. A lot of our Congress critters break the law and get indicted, and it's not unusual. But sorry, this is the story today, not the story from then, not the story from then. It's the story from today. Representative Bowman. Can you truly justify what Representative Bowman did? And is censure the proper, penalty? Probably. I mean, it's like, come on, dude. You gonna start pulling fire alarms because you want? I don't know. This is stupid. He got caught and he came up with some bullshit story. And there you go. All right, let's. Do I have anything else today? I was gonna talk about Newt. He's trending because he's talking about expelling Matt Gaetz because Matt Gaetz is saying, "Oh, now you passed this continuing resolution at least for how long did this thing go?" I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that Newt's saying, but the lefties are loving the fact that he's throwing Matt Gaetz under the bus. For example, here's Molly Jong Fast. I don't know why she has a name like that. When you've lost Newt, is Gaetz secretly an agent for the Democratic Party? No one else is doing as much to undermine and weaken, cripple the House GOP. Now, the irony, because Matt Gaetz is not having it with this, continuing resolution. Go ahead and shut the government down if these motherfuckers won't go along with this. Because the Republicans tried to pass a separate funding bills for separate parts of the United States government. And what's happening is the Democrats do not want to do it that way. They want to have an omnibus bill where they just put everything in one giant pot and say, pass this shit, find out what's in it after we pass it. No, and the Republicans are saying, no, these should all have separate you should have a separate bill for each part of the government that you're funding, because then you're not just throwing more shit down the American people's throats, right? And so, and Matt Gaetz is one of the people who are saying, no, we should not do this. And apparently the Republicans capitulated. I haven't read that yet this morning, but apparently they did. And so Newt Gingrich is going after Matt Gaetz on this instead of the Democrats. Look, wasn't it Newt Gingrich who led the whole contract with America thing and all the stuff that he wanted to get done? And some of these MAGA Republicans are the ones who are most in tune with what they tried to do in 94, right? Or 95, I shouldn't say 94. They got elected in 94 and they came into office in 95. And now even Newt Gingrich is saying, no, we want to stick to establishment principles, I guess. That's not what he said. So anyway, and then also he says, though, here's another thing Newt said. The effort to expel Matt Gaetz for being a destructive, irresponsible, anti-Republican may be a step too far. What do you mean anti-Republican? What do you mean expulsion from the House requires a 2/3 votes. However, expelling him from the House Republican Conference and eliminating all his committee assignments and all resources other than those an individual member is entitled to would be a rational response for his suicidal effort to cripple the House GOP. That's really weird. I'm gonna have to find out more about what went on with that whole thing, because I'm not up to date. I didn't pay attention to the news this weekend. I just caught up this morning on a few things, so I'm not going to talk about what I don't know about, and that's how it goes. So anyway, and that, my friends, is how it's going to end today. I want you to do me a favor before you click any more buttons, though. What's my thing? Okay. Oh wait, here. Let me ask. I forgot. Let me go back. I'm not done yet. Don't click away because I'm not done. A very important part of the show that I almost forgot to do. Some of the answers to, for what did Barack Obama receive the Nobel Prize? And I said wrong answers only. Let's read some of the responses. I'm sure these are going to be quite entertaining. At least I hope so. Do y'all want to do a Q&A to extend the show? Put a 1 in the chat if you yes. Put a 2 in the chat for no. So here are some of the things that Barack Obama won the Nobel Prize for from you, the viewing audience. Oh my God. Avocados. Why is my chat disconnecting? Oh, okay, reconnect. Avocados Diabli. Nope. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for, quote, marrying a man, smoking crack, and banging men. Yes, perfect. That is an acceptable answer. That is an acceptable answer. Lord Stanhope. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for coming up with a minty fresh hemorrhoid cream. Yes, that is an acceptable answer. Absolutely. They really like that one. Special K on acid. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for bringing democracy to Libya. Yes, that is an acceptable answer. Thank you very much. Reacción Puerto Rico. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for to keep Big Mike happy. Yes, I will. That's a good answer. I'll take that one. Let's see. No. Okay. Avocado Diablo has another one. Barack Obama. It was all just a misunderstanding. The award was actually the Nobel Peace Prize for all the people he would turn into mincemeat. Well, I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna try to. That is. Oh wait. The judges have notified me they are reconsidering. Yes, that is an acceptable answer. Thank you very much, Avocados Diabli. Somnambule Nation. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for being the first openly gay president. Judges? The judges are deliberating, excuse me. Judges say? Yes, it is an acceptable answer. Very, very good. Okay, next, Special Can Acid. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for marrying a trans person. Well, that is obvious. Come on now. Jethro Hetero. Barack Obama received the Nobel Prize for being the first black president. I don't think so. No, we're not accepting that answer. But oh wait, there's a subtopic here. As ridiculous as that is, that's what I remember. It was supposedly unifying for the Peace Prize. Or unifying, therefore the Peace Prize. Oh, the judges are reconsidering, and yes, that is an acceptable answer. Congratulations. Avocados Diabli. Barack Obama received the Nobel Peace Prize for, oh wait, no, he actually didn't. He just stole it because, sorry, that is not a correct answer. All right, Blackout 8879. That's a, hey P-Dog, how you doing? That is an acceptable answer. Perfect. And finally, oh, you're asking questions now. Maybe I misunderstood. How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. And Grand Inquisitor Ty Alexander, if sand weight is 0.00005 pounds, how much sand is needed to weigh more than Lizzo and Tess Holiday combined? Well, Tyre, let me just say, for that amount of sand, you'd probably can cover the entire planet of Jupiter. So there you go. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, for the question. And there you go. And then he did not pull any fire alarms. I don't even know what that means. Let's go back to the chat. Welcome everyone who's been here, and that's it. Why is it keeps saying that I'm disconnected from the chat? I don't know why. I'm gonna type something. Okay, I'm in the chat, even though I can't type. That's more like Somnup something, which is Somnambule Nation's cousin. All right, guys. We do want to do a question and answer section. All I see are ones. Okay, so on Rumble, if you're on Rumble, you have to put 3 question marks with your questions, so it's easy to notice. And let's open up. Let's cancel this end Q&A. We're gonna end that one. And we'll just start a new Q&A. Let's do I'll just say, we'll do it for 10 minutes. Ask me anything. And starting Q&A now. So I need to kill time while we get questions, I guess. What can I kill time with? Well, let's see if there's any other stories I have tons of stories. It's not like I don't have them. I just haven't really read all of these. Let's see. Civil War looking. It's looking ever more likely that January 6th was a Fedsurrection. Let's see this one. I haven't seen this one yet. This is in the Federalist. Anything? No, really anything? Well, you can ask. Doesn't mean I'm going to answer them. It just says Q&A. Ask me anything. Okay? Yeah, anything. I don't want to read a Federalist article. That's going to get too deep. Bloomberg flubs data for bombshell report that only 6% of new corporate hires are white. Wait a minute. It's White History Month. What is this one about? What? Okay, this is in the Daily Wire. I don't know if you heard this story. I have. It says I glanced at it on Friday, but I didn't have time to look at it. Bloomberg flubs data for bombshell report that only 6% of new corporate hires are white. Bloomberg study finds that 94% of new corporate hires are people of color. That's absurd. Yeah, I saw this and I was thinking, how could this be? That would be almost statistically impossible. Okay, so here it is. It's an astonishing statistic that took the internet by storm. 94% of jobs created in 2021 went to racial minorities, and it's also completely untrue. The conclusion from Bloomberg, which credits 5 reporters and 4 editors, 5 reporters and 4 editors looked at this story before they put it out, is that on the heels of the Black Lives Matter protests, corporations followed through on their promise to diversify their ranks. The outlet reported that companies in the S&P 100 added 323,094 new employees in 2021, and that only 20,524 of those new jobs were filled by white people.
You're fucking a white male!
If true, such a statistic could launch a legion of victorious racial discrimination lawsuits. Blacks, Asians, and Hispanics make up roughly 40% of the population, and there's no way they could obtain 94% of the new jobs without some level of discrimination. But the takeaway from Bloomberg is an example of innumerancy by journalists at an outlet once relied upon by businessmen, I'll say it like Mike Tyson, the businessmen for savvy financial analysis, or if willfully selecting aside common sense in favor of what the publication acknowledged is a ideologically driven project to hold companies accountable to diversity pledges. I'm going to stop talking like Mike Tyson. Anyway, they screwed up. Let's just put it, it's fucked up. You can read the article on your own because I have questions on the board and I'm going to answer the questions as well as I can, or I'm not going to answer them if they are just out of my wheelhouse. Okay, so here we go. We got questions. You can drop questions in the chat on Rumble. You can drop questions in the question section on YouTube. No, really, anything. Well, yeah, anything. I didn't mean I'm going to answer them. Why is the Blarney Stone? Why is the Blarney Stone? Because it drank a lot of Irish whiskey. Number 2, thank you, Sarah. Oh, that was from Mike Savage. Thank you, sir, for the question. Sarah, that bill was from Mike. How have you been? LB okay, Lady Boomer okay. You know what? We're doing well. But physically, I'm getting better. I'm going back to work a week from today, and I'm I'm so happy about that. My doctor cleared me to go back to work in 1 more week, and I'm just because I'm a little stir crazy. And we're doing really well. We've had, like I said, we had a nice weekend with the family, and so on and so forth. Gonna hang out with have a little birthday celebration for my son this week, and that's my favorite time is when we can get all of us together. So excited about that. Is it a nice, so thank you again, Sarah, for the question. Oh, there's their bell. Special Can Acid, is it a nice day for a white wedding? Let me think about that. It's a nice day for a white wedding. Yes, it is. That is the answer. Avocados Diabli, do you think we'll ever know who put the womp in the womp shubop shubop? Who put the womp in the swamp, shabop, shabop? Who put the dang in the dang-a-lang-a-ding-dong? Who is that man? I'd like to shake his hand for bringing my baby back to me. I don't know. I think the guy's dead. So anyway, thank you for the question. And finally, I'm going to end it with this. If you could go anywhere, anytime, no money, no problem, where would you go? Wow. That's a really good question. I mean, I really love the big island of Hawaii. If I just had, could go anywhere and have no money problems, whatever, I might move there. I just loved it. It was such a relaxed place to be. Now, granted, I was a tourist there. And we went to like some tourist place. We also, here's the thing. We also went to just towns and talked to people that randomly, like that the guy the chocolate farmer guy, he has a chocolate farm, basically, cocoa farm. That was cool. And he grows cocoa and vanilla. He makes his own chocolate and sells it. And he was just a cool dude and just a laid back guy. And, his son was there. And sometimes some days if there's a good surf, he would just close up and go surfing. That's the kind of life, a chill life in a place like that. It's always, beautiful weather and stuff, except for occasional hurricanes. I loved that. So where would I go if it was just, say, travel somewhere? Right now, a couple places that we really want to go. We want to go to Croatia because that's some of Laura's heritage, Lady Boomer. Or for me, go to Cork Island just to see relatives from there, or go back to Nigeria and see my relatives there, So there's a lot of places there. If I'd go anywhere, I'd go everywhere. You know what I mean? And on that note, we are done. Unable to connect to the chat. I wonder why that is. So I'm going to end the question and answers. Thank you for participating in that. We'll do that more often. I think, there's a bunch more questions. I'm sorry. There are a whole bunch more, but you're putting them in the regular chat. How's that happen? Wait a minute. So here's the deal. The question and answer, and if you're on YouTube, there is a spot specifically for the question and answer period. And so I'm going to start using that more often. You have to click it though. Here's a bunch of questions that did not make it in the question and answer. So I have to finish this up. Is anybody still on Rumble? Just say hi if you're on Rumble. Say hi if you're on Rumble. Just want to make sure that that's still working over there. Okay, here's some questions that weren't in the right place. And so from now on, we're going to put the questions in the right place. Right, class? Right, class? Yeah. Okay, so here's one. Does Brittany Griner have a peen? No. Brittany Griner is an actual physiological female. Bit of a freak of nature, but whatever. Okay. Let's see. What is your wildest conspiracy theory? There are none because they've all come true. Okay. There you go. What is it like being a grandpa? It's awesome. When I mentioned the family, I didn't mention baby girl, right? Baby girl, my daughter's daughter, who now will come to Buppa and sit on Buppa's lap and hang out for a little bit, which is like the greatest thing ever. You're just like, this is my granddaughter and she's so cute and whatever right now. And she comes to Buppa and gives me a hug and a kiss, and she's only 18 months old. So it's like, it's a little baby just like wants to give you a hug. And it's just like, just melt your heart kind of thing, And then when she poops, then I can just give her to her mom. Hey, take care of that. So that's great. I love it. I'm going to spoil a kid and not have any consequences. There you go. Oh, but not a peen, but a ween. No peen, no ween, none of the above. Okay. Also, is Dylan Mulvaney going to be the world's first 6-year-old girl to get a prostate exam? Does Dylan identify as a 6-year-old though? I'm not 100% sure. But if yes to my question, then yes to your question, definitely. Let's see. People have been okay. Good answer. The first to answer that particular question. I'm not sure which question I answered that it was a good answer, but I will come back to it. All right, and then down here, there more. Is it? Wait, I skipped a little bit. Isn't it bop? Oh, who's put the bop into bop, shabop, shabop. I think it is. Did I say that? Well, that's what the question said. Ramalama ding dong. Yes, sir. I'm going to start again. Thanks, P-Dog. I'm not sure what that was to. Probably Casey Kasem with a long distance dedication. Put the bump in the bomb, shabop, shabop. Probably. All right. Marty, you met Willy Wonka in Hawaii? What the fuck? No, not Willy Wonka. I can't remember the dude's name. The place is Kona Magic Chocolate Company. And it's, dude, we were just driving back from the the green sand beach on our way. We went down to visit this green sand beach at the southernmost point in the United States, the tip of the big island in Hawaii, on the southern point. That is the southernmost point in the United States. It's even farther south than Key West. Key West is the farthest point south on the mainland, but we went to the farthest point south in the United States, and we were driving back up the west shoreline, and we saw this, like, just downhill, there's this guy with a little sign, chocolate, and he had a stand there, and there was a few cars in there. We're like, should we go check it out? And we're like, yeah, let's go check it out. And it was the guy. He has basically a 40-acre farm where he grows cocoa pods, right? The trees that have these cocoa pods, and then he also grows vanilla, and he produces chocolate. And they put X number of tons of chocolate. Basically, they have this milk chocolate that's unbelievably good. And then he has dark chocolate that he mixes with this one special cocoa pod that makes it really smooth. Most people don't like dark chocolate. This chocolate is so smooth and not bitter at all. And it's real dark chocolate flavor. It's really good. So anyway, yes, it was not Willy Wonka. I can't remember his name. I have to look. I have his card somewhere, but they follow me on Instagram too now, because I mentioned them a couple times. Okay. I'd love to go to the Emerald Isles. Yeah, I'd love to go there too, man. There's a lot of places. I mean, there's places in Minnesota still that I haven't been to that I'd like to go to. Like, for example, there's a black sand beach on Lake Superior that's in part of Minnesota on the North Shore. That it's this little peninsula, and it goes out to this giant rock formation sticking out of the lake. And I want to go. We're going to go there. We just heard about it, and so we're going to go there. I'd love to travel along the southern Lake Superior shore again, Painted Rock National Shoreline, and take one of the cruises out into the Lake Superior that go around that area. That area is amazing too. Chat screen is stuck. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. Try to refresh it if you can. Is it stuck in? But the stream's still going, right? The stream's going fine. It's just the chat that's kind of going in and out. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, and then finishing up. Do you think more? Okay. Oh wow, it skips again. Do you think more people AOC's age will be voted into Congress, and does that thought scare you? Well, it has nothing to do with their age, and I doubt it that there will be a whole lot, but it's her politics that scare the shit out of me, because Jamal Bowman is of her political bent. Ilhan Omar is of her political bent. The progressive caucus. I want the progressive caucus to go away, not grow. And so that scares me more than necessarily her age. There are young people who are conservative who could run for Congress, and I would be fine with that. I'm worried about the philosophy, not their age. And that's the same goes with the old age motherfuckers. I worry about, well, I was going to say Joe Biden's philosophy, but he's a puppet, okay? I don't care that he's still a president because of his age. I care that he's president because he's an idiot. I don't care that Mitch McConnell's in the Congress, in the Senate, because of his age. I'm concerned about him being a shitbag that's not helping us in the cause to create more liberty, as opposed to more just government taking over everybody and everything and being the catalyst in robot's hand for the country. You know what I mean? So let's see. Where am I at here? Do you think? Okay, you're wrong, Marty, and should suffer some type of punishment. Griner is a dude. Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree. You know why I know? You know why Brittany Griner's not a dude? Because Brittany Griner's physical abilities do not match any male, and I'm sure there's some gangly, goofy, unathletic motherfucker 6'9" people, males too, but she doesn't even have the capacity of some males. And I don't mean that's a knock against women. It's just physical. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to check. Let's put it that way. I am not going to do that examination because that human being is not anything. Anyway. All right. Dylan does identify as a girl. Yeah, I know at first, but apparently when you identify as a girl in the beginning, then she's whatever growing out of it like very quickly, like in, you know, it's like a girl in dog years, you know what I mean? All right. It is bot, but I asked Womp, okay? Kona ice, Kona coffee. We know we brought back a whole bunch of, well, we had to ship, but we bought a whole bunch of Kona coffee. That was awesome. I blame the big bopper. Let's see here. Would have specified AOC's mindset. Yes. Did I skip a bunch of stuff here? Yes, I did. Here we go. So Willy Wonka's redheaded stepbrother. Gotcha. No, this dude, I mean, dude had the beard. I think I showed it on the show. This dude had like this Fu Manchu, like but it came down to his chest. It was so long. Is it Duck Duck Goose or Duck Duck Gray Duck? Oh, Sarah, you know it's Duck Duck Goose. Only in Minnesota and a couple counties in Ohio is it Duck Duck Gray Duck. The Ramalam Ding Dong is what Eric Swallowswell calls a sleepover with his butt buddies. Okay, yes. Dark chocolate is good for your blood and prostate for what it's worth. Well, my prostate's probably doing pretty good because we bought a bunch of that chocolate, and that's about the only sweets that I eat anymore. And this, I'm telling you, people who like dark chocolate, a lot of time it has a real dry texture to it, and it's also usually bitter. Holy shit, the dark chocolate from this place is so smooth, and it's almost sweet for a dark chocolate, and it's delicious. It's amazing. We bought a bunch of that and a bunch of their milk chocolate. Oh, and he grows vanilla plants on there at his farm, and he has some pure vanilla he sells pure vanilla too. I don't know though. I should probably look up if they ship. It's called. Let's see. Let's look it up. Let's see. I can close some of these windows that I'm not going to need to put in the chat. Kona Magic. Let's see if that pops up for their farm. Because I don't know if they have a website or not. Kona Magic Sands, that's a different place. Let me throw in chocolate on that search. I know they have an Instagram page. I don't know if they have a website though. Okay, so if you go to the Big Island, there is a chocolate and cocoa farms tour. I had no idea. Let's see. Let's check this out. It probably shows up on here. Chocolate tours near Kona. Chocolate tours near Hilo. I did not know that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know there's several chocolate farms on the Big Island. Interesting. I don't see. It would be on the east or west coast or west side. And it's not listed on this one. Kona Coffee Farms tour. No, that's weird. But they have because the Big Island basically has like 7 of the 9 climates on Earth. You can pretty much grow anything in Hawaii, and 90% of they say 90% of the vegetation there is non-native, which probably is even less than that. I'm sure a lot of it's just, as those islands form, birds are probably the only thing that get to the island, and they end up pooping out seeds of something. But, they don't have a website, it looks like. But I'm looking at this. I don't know. I'll get more information on it later. I know they'll ship chocolate to you if you want them to, but it's probably pretty expensive to do. All right. I should have said AOC's mindset. There are people who want to. I'm not going to read. I don't know what that meant. What the fuck are Oompa Loompas anyway? I can watch Willy Wonka without hearing the song. Okay. Is cereal soup? This is Lords of the Night shit. No, cereal is not soup. Because cereal doesn't require liquid. right? See, that's the thing. They always come up with this. On that, the question, is cereal soup? Well, yeah, a bowl of cereal, is that soup? No, it's not, because the cereal is not the milk is not part of the cereal. The cereal is what's covered in milk, and the milk is just an enhancifier to the cereal. You can eat the cereal without the soup, without the milk, and so it's not soup. It is not soup. Sorry. No matter what you say, I am not going. Can you fold soup? No, I don't know how you would fold soup. I mean, you could try. You could grab a handful of soup and try to fold it, but I don't think so. I shipped my pants too. Okay, I don't know. Shipped your pants? What do you mean you shipped your pants? Where did you ship your pants? Even grandma shipped her pants. Well, the whole family shipped their pants. Macadamia are not native. They are from Australia. Are they? I didn't know that. Yeah, technically there's no native plants to the islands, because they were just giant rocks that came out of the volcanoes grew the islands. They're volcanic islands. So, but when the Polynesians made it to the islands, they certainly brought various types of, things they could plant and whatever. And then as more of the world discovered the Hawaiian Islands, more people brought more different kinds of plants, and particularly the Big Island, since every 7 of the 9 climates of the world happen on the Big Island, that you could bring quite a variety of shit and grow it somewhere on part of the island. The milk can be part of soup, but nope, not soup. Okay. Folded soup. Folded soup I don't get. All right, that's it. That's all. I'm done. No more questions. Marty is regretting paying this much attention to the chat. Nope, never, ever. I enjoy you call it chaos. I call the diversity. I enjoy the diversity of the types of questions we get. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Before you click anywhere, share the stream. I got to go. Thank you for joining me. I got goaded into going longer than I was going to, but that's okay, because I love doing this, and you guys are my favorite peoples in the planet. So we had 43 people here at one point. Holy shit, I didn't know that. I guess I should start paying the chat more often. Hit the like button, share the stream, drop a deuce in the tip jar once in a while, and most important, share. All right, that's it. I got to go. Thank you for being here. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.